The year is 2010. My friends and I are converging upon the local Weatherspoons for our once-in-a-decade Gamer Summit. This is where the three of us meet up to predict what lies ahead for the gaming industry in the decade to come. It used to be harmless fun, but in recent years we've all grown increasingly insecure about our predictions as we've collectively watched none of them come true. The pressure is on this year, more so than ever, to make a prediction that is bold and not in any way safe, but one that still comes true. Pete speaks up first. I think Hideo Kojima's gonna make a game where you play as Daryl from The Walking Dead, and you're like a delivery guy in post-apocalyptic America, and you've got a baby, and you drink Monster Energy. Staring down the end of my now empty glass, I can't help but release an agitated sigh, and I snap for a moment. Alright, there's being bold, Pete, and there's being fucking ridiculous. Maybe I snapped because I truly think Pete's prediction was that stupid, or maybe it was because I could feel the weight of my own unorthodox prediction hanging over me. And what the hell's The Walking Dead anyway? Who's Daryl? I continue. Mercifully, Steve cuts me off. I think they'll bring back F-Zero. I sigh again, only this time it's one of relief. Sensible old Steve, I think to myself. Thank you, and I nod to him with a faint smile. Now, all eyes are on me. I'm trembling a little bit. It takes me a while to collect myself, but eventually I meet their gazes with my own. I take a deep breath and finally give my prediction. In the next 10 years in gaming, Sonic the Hedgehog will transform into a dinosaur. Now, with the context we have of now living in the 2020s, this prediction may sound ridiculous. However, let me remind you that back in 2010, we were 1 year removed from Sonic and the Black Knight, a game in which Sonic is summoned to Arthurian England to fight evil alongside the Knights of the Round Table, who are represented by actual Sonic characters. And at the end of the game, Sonic transforms into an armoured knight with the sword Excalibur. We were 3 years removed from Sonic and the Secret Rings, where Sonic ends up in the world of the Arabian Nights fighting an evil genie, and at the end of that one he transforms into someone's OC. And of course we were 4 years removed from Sonic 06. More like Sonic oh shit, right? Why are you kissing that hedgehog, you strange lady? For whatever reason, I was fixated on the so-called storybook series that the Secret Rings and the Black Knight comprised. It's hardly a series if it's just 2 games, right? There has to be another one. This is what I kept telling myself. I had myself convinced for some reason that the next game in the series would see Sonic go back to the prehistoric era. I mean, in retrospect, if they were even going to finish this storybook series in the first place, it would have made way more sense to put him in like feudal Japan and have him become like a samurai or something, but obviously, crushingly, I was wrong. And as the next Gamer Summit looms over me, I'm not about to make the same mistake. I'm returning to the Sonic series for my prediction, and I'm getting it right this time. I'm going to perform more analysis, more research than ever before. I'm going to dissect the defining features of the past 10 years of Sonic games and use them to accurately predict where Sonic is going. Considering my previous failure, it may seem preposterous to return to Sonic again, but this isn't just a matter of correct and incorrect predictions, it's a matter of familial pride. The Gamer Summit is a tradition that's been passed down by the families of my friends and I for generations. My father is widely considered to be the best predictor in Gamer Summit history. One cold morning in the early 2000s, for his final prediction, he boldly proclaimed that in the decade to come, Sonic would become food. And look what happened. Hang on a minute, sorry. Oh, wow, that's embarrassing. I've actually been reading this wrong. It actually says Sonic will become good. Huh. Guess we're still waiting on that one. In analysing the past decade of Sonic games in order to predict the next one, I'm going to have to disqualify the racing games. I just think it's safe to assume that the next Sonic game is not going to be a racing game. I'm also not counting spin-offs like the Olympic games and other stuff. Instead, we're going to start back in 2010 with Sonic 4, and for the sake of convenience, I'm going to lump both episodes together. This game does something really interesting with the Sonic IP, and it actually takes Sonic back to his roots? What? So we'll put revisit the past as the first trait that our next Sonic game needs to share. Then we're on to 2011 with Sonic Colors. I never played this game, but I heard that it was actually pretty decent. I think it's fair to say that the defining trait of Sonic Colors is the power-ups with the wisps, right? So we'll put Sonic gets cool power-ups for this one. Staying in 2011, we have Sonic Generations. This game does something really interesting with the Sonic IP, and it actually takes Sonic back to his roots? What? But since we already have a going back to the past point, and since this game was generally just really well received, it's really hard to know what to take from it. So I'm just going to play it safe and say that the next game will blend 2D and 3D platforming, much like Generations and really a lot of recent Sonic games have done. 2013 brings us Sonic Lost World. This game was just kind of subpar, and there's really not much to say about it. I guess the one thing we can glean from it is the weird kind of knockoff Mario Galaxy visual style and platforming, so we'll just say an interesting take on the world. Now we come to 2014 with Sonic Boom. Oh god, despite what everyone says, I think this was Sonic's single greatest achievement in the 2010s. The fact that it somehow managed to have a worse decade than me. In the 2010s, I told a girl that I loved her and she gave me a thumbs up. Sonic has had a fucking shit decade. I'm not taking anything from Sonic Boom, I'm sure you won't blame me, this game can stay in the past. 2017, mercifully, brings us Sonic Mania. This game does something really interesting with the Sonic IP, and it actually takes Sonic. Again, this game was just really well received, and it doesn't do much that other games this decade haven't already done, to be honest, so I guess for this one we'll put get the fans involved. Because, for those who don't know, this game wasn't actually made by Sonic Team. It was directed by Christian Whitehead, and it had other people like T. Lopez and Tyson Hesse involved. Finally, also in 2017 is Sonic Forces. Critical reception aside, there's one very obvious defining feature that we can take from this game, and that's customization. I don't know how it's going to handle it, but I think we're saying that our next game will feature some level of customization. So, based on all the traits from the past decade of Sonic games, we're looking for a Sonic game that does all of, if not most, of the following. Revisits the past, has cool power-ups, blends 2D and 3D platforming, provides an interesting take on the world, gets the fans involved, and features some level of customization. So based on all of this, where is Sonic going? Well, I can tell you where he's not going: on an adventure for the third time. Because Sonic Team and Sega hate three things: money, doing what has been proven to already work, and me specifically. Pitching a Sonic game based off these traits has been harder than I'd expected, I must say. Some of them are pretty simple, like the basic gameplay ones, such as power-ups and customization, but then you've got the big sweeping ones that affect the core concept, like returning to the past, having an interesting take on the world, getting the fans involved, stuff like that. Creating a pitch for a Sonic game with these things in mind has actually been really hard. Wait a minute. Oh my god. Has the answer been staring me in the face the whole time? Listen, guys, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I actually think this is it, you know? This is the one. This is the decade, for real this time. This is the decade in which Sonic the Hedgehog will transform into a dinosaur. I am doubling down on my prediction. If in 10 years' time, Sonic the Hedgehog has not transformed into a dinosaur, then I implore you to come back to this video and like and subscribe. I know you probably think I've gone completely insane for this, but I've actually gone ahead and enlisted some of the best artists I know to provide some key art to support my vision. You can see here there's a whole bunch of different dinosaur forms that Sonic could take that would kind of serve as like his cool power-ups, and then his transformation for the final boss fight would be something a bit like this. I imagine said boss fight against, say, Eggman or whoever, I imagine he's called Caveman in this game, is probably quite easy, to be honest. In fact, I feel like he wouldn't really stand a chance at all. But yeah, Sega, if you're in need of any ideas, hit me up. My Discord DMs are open. I have a ton of cool ideas, a ton of cool art of Sonic as a dinosaur. I have a lot, in fact. I have so much. Oh my god, wow, some could even say too much. I also think Sonic could go back to the Wild West at some point, maybe become a cowboy, you know? Like, that's an idea for down the road, of course, but I'm just saying, you know, hit me up, let's talk, let's get the ball rolling. In the meantime, I'll see you guys again in 5-6 years, however long it takes for my prediction to come true, and we'll all have a good laugh about how I called it, you know? So, yeah, I guess I'll see you then.